Chris Gardner was born into a world that offered him little hope. Raised in a broken home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chris endured a childhood filled with poverty, violence, and instability. His stepfather was abusive, his family was fractured, and his environment gave him every reason to believe that success was out of reach. But even as a young boy, Chris harbored a quiet determination that he was meant for something more. Despite never meeting his biological father and growing up in an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, Chris chose not to let his upbringing define him. He was inspired by stories of people who had risen from nothing, and he clung to the belief that his future could be different. After finishing high school, he enlisted in the Navy, which offered structure and discipline qualities he lacked in his youth. It was during his time in the Navy that Chris met a successful doctor who sparked his interest in medicine. This encounter gave him a glimpse of what could be possible with hard work and ambition. After the Navy, Chris tried various jobs, eventually landing a position as a medical equipment salesman. But money was tight, and life was far from easy. He married, had a child, and struggled to make ends meet. One day, everything changed when he saw a man step out of a red Ferrari. Chris, curious and inspired, asked the man what he did for a living. The answer: stockbroker. That brief exchange planted a seed in Chris's mind, a vision of a new path, one that could lead to financial freedom and a better life for his family. With no degree, no connections, and little money, Chris decided to pursue a career in finance. He applied to brokerage firms again and again, facing rejection after rejection. But he didn't give up. He finally landed an unpaid internship at Dean Witter Reynolds, a highly competitive program that only guaranteed a job to one person at the end. Around the same time, his life took a sharp turn. His relationship fell apart, and he became the sole caretaker of his toddler son, Christopher Jr. With no income, no support system, and nowhere to go, Chris and his son found themselves homeless. They slept in subway station bathrooms, on park benches, and at homeless shelters. Chris wore the same clothes to work every day, desperately trying to hide his reality from his co-workers. During the day, he made hundreds of calls to potential investors, learning the trade and fighting to stand out. At night, he stood in long lines with his son, hoping to secure a bed at a shelter. He protected his child fiercely, ensuring that little Christopher never lost hope, even when their situation seemed hopeless. Through relentless determination, long hours, and an unshakable belief in his dream, Chris eventually secured the one paid position at the brokerage firm. It was a turning point. From there, he continued to grow, moving up in the industry until he eventually founded his own company, Gardner Rich & Company. Chris became a multimillionaire, a respected entrepreneur, and a motivational speaker. His autobiography, The Pursuit of Happiness, became a bestseller and was later turned into a powerful film starring Will Smith, which inspired millions around the world. Chris Gardner's life is a living testament to the truth that you have the power to create your future. He had every reason to quit poverty, homelessness, rejection, but he chose to persevere. He chose to believe in the possibility of a better life and took bold action toward that belief. His story proves that no matter where you start, no matter how impossible the road may seem, you hold the power to shape your own destiny. All it takes is vision, resilience, and the courage to never give up.